All right, pre-show shenanigans. We got a lot to break down right now. Big episode, big time episode, special
Big
nice
pre-show.
round even number, but even bigger pre-show. Everett, I saw Taken for the first time a couple days ago.
Now, okay, I have not seen, but this is the Liam Neeson. I will find
The
you. I like.
Okay, real quick, let's just start there. I mean, considering that there's a Taken 2, 3, and 4, I mean, we kind of know what's going to happen at the end of Taken 1. Like, yeah, they saved the person who got kidnapped. I'm not going to reveal who
Well, also,
was
okay,
kidnapped,
so
but
well, I mean,
I
that
think you should
movie,
be aware it's the daughter.
that movie's been out for so long, like
15 years.
yeah, 2008.
Oh, it's disgusting as an LA kid that I have not watched that.
I mean, I still haven't seen it. Like, I just know the lines, but
that's all you need to know. I'm just saying though, when I'd say around, yeah, like a third of the way through the movie,
is the
Liam
line
Neeson delivers the line. I would actually say top 5 most iconic line in movie history, at least for our generation. You immediately know what that is.
No, yeah.
And I will kill you. I mean, like,
no, like the amount
iconic.
of like Call of Duty lobbies and stuff that's come out in, like, very high.
And hey, don't look into our Xbox chat logs, but they literally just caught somebody on inside trading for his 2010 Xbox Live chat logs. So like those are saved. Those are
saved.
Hard drive database.
Those are saved.
Those
somewhere.
are there. So just be careful.
Yeah, you and I are okay. There are some other people that have done some rather questionable.
Let's just say it is a great thing that Discord exists now and TeamSpeak is not needed. Let's just start there. Okay. And I don't expect any of our homies to be listening right now exactly. But if you're listening right now, Matthias, you got to clear a lot of shit, brother. You got to clear a lot of shit off of anything you own. But okay, Taken. He delivers that line. And the one thing I was realizing is that you immediately know that he's about to deliver, I will find you and I will kill you. But leading up to it, it's, a zoom in close up on Liam Neeson's face.
Yeah, he's on the phone.
He's delivering a solid 2 minutes of like pre-dialogue before he delivers it. And the only thing I could think of while watching it is, I want to know how many takes this took. But more specifically, I want to know how many times Liam Neeson started bursting out laughing mid like quote, because he's like, who the fuck wrote this script? This is like the most unrealistic thing ever to be said, ever. And
so in the movie, is he just like a normal dad, or is he like actually have like
so
it's just a normal dad
gone
AWOL, or is it like a military?
So I'm not gonna lie. The exposition part before all the kidnapping takes place, the movie is so unbelievably boring that I was on my phone the entire first 30 minutes. I was so unbelievably bored. I was like, I do not care at all about this backstory. I just want to see a fucking kidnapping. I just want to see like a rescue mission out of Call of Duty. Okay, I'm not here for any lovey-dovey stuff. I don't care. So I really didn't start watching until that line. But it seems as if just seeing the rest of the movie, Liam Neeson, it seems like a classic movie where like he loves his daughter, doesn't get along great with his wife. They're still together, but because he's a secret agent off traveling all the time, his wife's always pissed that he's never home and shit like that. Just a classic movie plot line, very vintage. And of course, their daughter gets kidnapped when she goes to France. And that's the movie. Liam Neeson just flies over to France from like, I don't know where he's from in the US. I'm gonna guess they were from a humble roots in North Carolina, but it was definitely from LA. So yeah, fly out to France, saves his daughter. Pretty self-explanatory movie, but very interesting. Very interesting.
I was hoping that
it was going to come out. Taken 2 is a bit better.
I was hoping it was going to come out. It came out around the same time the first Star Wars prequel movie did, because then it has
slightly
Qui-Gon doing that a little bit later.
Like I would say, while I was watching it, my mom came down for a little, watched a little bit with me. And the first thing my mom says is, oh yeah, like I actually met Liam Neeson one time. And I was like, well, did he say I will find you and I will kill you? And she was like, well, it was pre-Taken. Neeson. So, wasn't quite the star he is, but still very, even before post Phantom Menace, he was still a fucking star. But actually, while we're on the fun topic here of fun stories as kids growing up in LA, I guarantee you have one of these exact same stories. I used to go to a CPK, a California Pizza Kitchen, nearby my house, and I shit you not, there was about a 20% chance that we would see Harrison Ford there on Solo. About a 20% chance growing up whenever I'd go get my kids' Fusilli Alfredo and my chocolate milk at CPK that Harrison Ford would fucking be there.
See, you already messed up comparing me with you, because you and I both know that I would never show up to a CPK as a kid.
That actually, okay.
That yeah. So no, I cannot relate to that story.
Are they dietary restrictions, or is it just you being like, there's many foods I will not?
Well, when I was a kid, it was like
matzo ball soup.
This is that, but it was more so, this is disgusting. I'm not eating that.
Like, have you ever even had a grilled cheese?
No, I just don't eat. I just don't eat cheese. No, I just don't eat cheese.
Never entertain the thought. Like when you see pizza, do you have a visceral reaction? Like, do you choke up a little bit? Like
when I smell yogurt, that happens.
Oh, same.
It's disgusting.
That's normal. Wait. So is froyo not allowed?
I don't particularly go out of my way to have froyo.
Oh no, me neither. But like, if given, like, let's say.
Well, let me clarify. If I end up
like a pink berry thing open and they're giving out free pink berry, are you saying
yeah?
No,
no, I'm not going. Even if it's free, but like, I've been to froyo places before. And what has happened when I've been at said froyo places is I don't get any of the froyo, and I just go through the toppings.
And you just get candy.
Get the toppings.
Okay,
well, actually,
so
no. I've gotten a tiny bit of froyo, and then it's just all top.
Yeah, just a little, like a little drizzle.
There's a little something in there, and then it's just all top.
I was gonna say maybe you're anti-ice cream. That would be un-American.
So no, that you would have to shoot me on site. Yeah, no, don't. Can't even do that. You and I both know that Baskin Robbins is my one true love. So
yeah, I mean, it is to this day. I can never get over the fact that our local BR
it's gone. It's gone.
How the hell am I going to get my 31 flavors? Like, what the fuck?
And they game ended my my childhood favorite flavor. It's gone.
What is it?
Rock and Pop Swirl doesn't exist anymore.
Damn. I feel like maybe I'm wildly incorrect here, but did Baskin Robbins invent Rocky Road? I'm not like a Rocky Road guy myself, but it's one of the most iconic ice cream flavors, and I have a feeling that they did. I'm gonna give them the nod over Ben and Jerry's for coming up with Rocky Road.
You know what? That's going to be a debate for another time.
We're gonna have to save that one for another time. But I think we're gonna wrap up the pre-show. We got a big time episode to go into right now. So, all right, Everett. Without further ado, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 180. Massive Week 16 of the NFL to preview. We got a Christmas NFL slate to preview. We got an early signing day special as well today. Early signing period is open. Many of these classes will be relatively finalized after today. And honestly, at this point, we're recording this around 3 p.m. Pacific time. So many of the commitments today have already happened. So a lot to break down in the world of college football recruiting. And, I didn't have an MLB minute written down, but we might have one today. I'm not taking that off the table. We might
sometimes things just happen with us. Like expect the unexpected. Yeah, that is the Waterboy way.
So
hey, can I just do a shout out real quick before we actually start?
Yeah.
Former Waterboy guest has officially been invited and accepted an invite to the Reese's Senior Bowl. I just want to give a little round of applause to Quan showing up to the Senior Bowl with her boy Pratt. So shout out to him, and look forward to seeing your performance, buddy.
I think also Michael Pratt declared for the draft, correct?
Unless he did that today. He's only officially accepted the invite to the bowl.
Okay. No, I have misspoken. No, nothing there.
Yeah, so that's
he has just opted out of the military bowl, so I'm just gonna assume.
Well, he did that to go prep for the Senior Bowl, which you only do if you go to the draft.
He's prepping for this. Oh, you know what? I like that hustle. Fuck yeah, Mike. we might know who our water boy player of the year is. So, well, he didn't win the
Raining?
water boy.
No, he was a nominee. He runner
He
up.
was the Lefty Dick Strong quarterback of the year.
That is correct, but we might know who. Well, there's a little bit stronger competition this season for it.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, the Lefty Dick Strong quarterback of the year. I mean, that's a tight race.
It is. It is a very tight.
We might have to do a recount. We might have to do a recount on the votes.
Last year, Mike kind of had a runaway with a Lefty Dick Strong award. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, last year there was not much competition involved. It was pretty easy for Mike to wrap that one up. But okay, you know what? We're gonna start off with college football. Many last-second flips today, and some non-flips that I expected to flip. You want to start with the flips or start with the non-flips?
Let's start tame.
Go first?
We got to start tame the non-flips.
Okay,
yeah.
So a lot of this is just Ohio State updates. So I'm sorry, guys, but the number one player in the class, Jeremiah Smith, did not flip to Miami, and he is an Ohio State Buckeye. I cannot lie. I was not as concerned about Jeremiah Smith as the next name we're about to get into, but I can't act like I wasn't concerned that Jeremiah Smith might not be coming home. I was very concerned that he might be going to Miami for a second, but leading up to his signing earlier today, hearing a lot of things from his dad. Now, his dad from Miami, Jeremiah Smith, lived in Miami his whole life, and his dad was telling Jeremiah, don't chase the money. Like, this isn't all just about like the bag you get right now. He's like, go to his words, not mine, the path less traveled. And so
and, we respect that.
Ohio State.
We respect
his dad was pushing Ohio State hard. So yeah, Jeremiah Smith is a Buckeye. He is, I believe, the number 3 ranked recruit in the history of Ohio State football. You know who number 1 is, right?
Is it Quinn
Ewers? Quinn Ewers, number 1 recruit all time for Ohio State. Number 2 is Terrell Pryor. So yeah, I mean, funny list there. But Jeremiah Smith is a Buckeye. The bigger thing, this next man I was genuinely afraid of. Edric Houston did not flip to Alabama, and he is also an Ohio State Buckeye. Now, in years past, Ohio State has lost out on many top dogs to Alabama because of this last fucking barbecue that Alabama does. Like the weekend, I'm not lying.
No, it is notorious.
I don't know
remember
what
specifically
the fuck is in that brisket, but I know specific. It's special.
I know it's not what Lincoln Riley's cooking at his barbecues because
hell no.
That actually caused guys to go into the portal. That actually caused guys to go into the portal.
Straight up, his like seared smoked tuna that just looks like a prime rib. It's like, what the fuck are we making?
I know that this, and we brought this up last year too at this exact time, being like, hey, this fucking Bama barbecue's happening this week. Like, hold on.
Unreal.
Hold on.
I don't know what is in that brisket, Everett. I don't know.
That's got to be crazy.
But it's the Uncle Nick special. Okay, Saban calls in the fucking works for that fucking barbecue.
No, literally somebody from like the edge of Alabama is driving 3 hours or whatever to get into Tuscaloosa.
They fully have a government subsidy for that weekend.
For real, 100%. Like they like full 100%. Privatized. Like the best
state of Alabama is funding that up.
Literally,
1,000,000%. But I'll be honest, I was definitely afraid that Edric was going to be flipping. But this is the interesting part.
That actually might be my like lifelong goal now, is to get invited.
I need to go to that. I need to see what it is.
I need to know what's going on there.
And I don't know how I'll get into the barbecue because shit. I mean, I think I'm out of eligibility. Well,
you haven't played. You haven't played, so you have eligibility. It's about playing.
Does that change if I graduate?
I don't think, because LeBron still has 4 years of eligibility. Well, he didn't go to college.
But isn't it not? LeBron didn't.
Yeah, no, I know.
But isn't it like, because I know like J.R. Smith, he went back and joined the golf team, but I know he wasn't allowed to play college basketball. He's allowed to join his men's.
But he played college basketball, didn't he? It also the other thing was because he was a former player, like in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think you have years regardless if you graduate.
Like if Steph Curry wanted to, I believe he has 1 year of eligibility left. I think he left after his junior year at Davidson. Like, I think for a year.
I also don't know how it transfers across sports.
I have no idea.
You and I both would have 4 full years of eligibility.
Are we sure?
Sure? I'm pretty sure because it's about whether or not you played a sport, not about whether or not you academically are graduated.
Okay, but. Anyway, back to the other topic with Edric Houston over here. He was, well, now he's technically a 4-star, but he was a 5-star DN out of Buford, Georgia, which is where Dylan Raiola was at. where KJ Bolden was at, who we're about to get into a second. But there was a lot of negative recruiting surrounding D-line coach for Ohio State, Larry Johnson, for this Edric Houston commitment. Now, a couple weeks ago, we had a 5-star defensive lineman, Justin Scott, committed to us, who decommitted and flipped to Miami. After that loss, I was truly under the impression that Edric Houston was going to leave as well. But it's looking as if Edric's going to stick it out. Well, he did sign. He is a Buckeye. But apparently, the reason why Edric was considering Alabama so heavily at the end was because he is not convinced that Larry Johnson will be the Ohio State defensive line coach for his entire collegiate career. Larry has been rumored to retire for a while now. And for JT Tuimoloau's recruitment and Jack Sawyer's recruitment, who were busts compared to what you would expect them to be, Larry Johnson promised them, I will stay at least for your guys' college careers. That was the promise he made, and that has been a well-documented promise that I guarantee every single other coach is telling Edric Houston before they commit, that Larry Johnson said he is no longer committed now because those guys are about to leave. So the main point is this battle didn't become a 50-50 because of NIL, which was what the problem was last year and the year before. We're now getting in recruiting battles because of our position coaches, which used to be the strength.
Here's the thing. The guys that you will get, I mean, like some of the guys that did flip though, and you noted Miami specifically, it was
money.
It was money.
We did lose those commitments from money. That is true. Like Jeremiah Smith, he was on flip.
It does kind of surprise me.
Much bigger package.
It does kind of surprise me why, like, Ohio State, obviously like a legacy program, like a notorious program, but how come its NIL budget is so much smaller than like Miami or
compared to those schools, compared to them in A&M, like a Florida State,
but this is my thing. Like you would think though,
15th in the country. If you
but you would still think like with how diehard Ohio State fans are, the team, that they would get more money from their alumni.
I don't know exactly, but if I were to give a quick like rundown, Ohio State, they might technically just ratings wise. Well, and we don't even know if they're all Ohio State fans. It could be a lot of hater views, but sure, they average the most viewers. You could say Ohio State has the largest fan base. But if we're just talking a little bit of econ here, Miami might have less alumni than Ohio State or less viewers, but the average income of the Miami is way bigger, way higher than the average income of the Ohio State fan. And it's just like, for USC, for example, it's like they got a team of like 8 boosters who do everything. Ohio State's probably like a team of 4 boosters who have that money to really dish out, but they don't really dish it out like that.
Yeah, you can't fight with Steven Spielberg on the donation front for USC.
Like straight, if he even donates for USC,
he definitely doesn't. He
might
just
be
does,
all in on film school.
He just does the film school, but
I'm saying like out of Miami, like they're not donating. Well, I would say at this point they are donating to help that business school. That shit's on its way up. But like they care about athletics right now. That Saudi investment fund, they're coming in. So yeah, like they have the FU money to just throw at players. And if you look at Texas A&M's class 2 years ago when they signed the greatest recruiting class ever, like they literally just threw bags at all the players, and now they're.
It's a shame though that Miami still sucks. So
yeah, I mean it's good for the sport if they were competitive. I'll just be honest, and they might be on their way now. But yeah, you brought this up to me a couple weeks ago, and you know, at the time I was being a defensive Ohio State fan. I was being very butthurt that you would even question the authority and power of the Ohio State position coaches. But now I'm taking a step back and really looking at it, and you got a point there. Every single one of them passes on the line. Like there's not a single position coach at Ohio State right now where I'm like, I need you forever. And that includes Brian Hartline. Like literally,
I still think Brian Hartline deserves to have a season play calling.
Him play calling. Well, I think what we should do, I don't know if they're doing this. Let him call that bowl game against Missouri.
That's what I said the other week.
Let him do it.
Why you have nothing to lose? Like nothing to lose here. And the other thing is, like, this is what we discussed was Ryan Day compared to Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer was game managing, not play calling. When he was doing better, he let Ryan Day do that stuff. Ryan Day, you take that stress away from play calling. He can just focus on the game. Let Brian Hartline figure that
I'm
shit
with it.
out. Like
The one thing I do think though,
the thing that you had said though was, "Hey, Brian Hartline doesn't have any experience. Why should we let
yeah,
him do
he has
that?" Which
zero
I mean, you're not
experience
going to get
ever.
experience until you let him have experience.
True.
That's kind of the
True.
deal.
No, I get that. I would just say though, the one thing is like, I would say Ryan Day, like what makes the best thing he contributes to Ohio State football on game day is his play calling. And so like, if we find that guy to do it, yeah, Ryan, go be a head coach. Like I need you to actually, watch the defense for a drive or two in a game. See what's going on that side of the ball for a change. Yeah. I kind of what you were bringing up with Kevin O'Connell, how you might be done with him as play calling. You want him to just be your head coach. Yeah, I think that's where I want to go also. But if it were up to me, like Larry Johnson, like keeping Edric Houston was massive. But I mean, the next
Thing is also
cycle,
it's also how well you're going to be able to develop these players.
Well, that's the thing. The last 5 stars Larry got, I was expecting Bosa's and Chase Young's, and we got Jack Sawyer and GTT. So no, he doesn't get any credit for those two. Those are misses.
I don't know who's those are I don't misses. Know. Is Brian Hartline technically the quarterback's coach right now as an OC, or is he still doing wide receivers?
He's the offense corner, but the quarterback coach Corey Dennis dead to me. What the fuck?
You should get the fuck out of there. Nothing.
What has he done?
Nothing.
Like Corey Dennis. Now this is a side note. This really has nothing to do with it. But Corey Dennis is Urban Meyer's son-in-law. Like he did marry Urban Meyer's daughter.
So nepotism. We love nepotism.
And to be honest, when Corey Dennis was the quarterback coach of Ohio State pre-Ryan Day, who was the quarterback, one John Thomas Barrett IV. So you can make up your opinion on how well of a development job he did with JT. And then when Ryan came in, we had that guy, Dwayne, pretty fucking good. We had that guy, Justin, pretty good. And that dude, CJ Stroud, if you've ever heard of him. So in terms of quarterback development, Ryan Day wasn't the QB coach, but he was the QB coach. So yeah, Corey Dennis, I don't really know why he's there.
Sounds like
Larry Johnson, I don't really know why you're there. Like he did just get Edric, but he's not developing. Like Larry Johnson, when he first got hired to Ohio State under Urban, like he was put on the map because he was Tom Bahali's coach at Penn State. Like he made
people forget about Tom. People forget about Tom Bahali.
So like that was his name, and then he followed up with some dude named Joey Bosa, if you remember him. Then he followed up with Nick Bosa.
I actually
and then
don't.
Some dude named Chase Young.
I know Nick Bosa, but I haven't really ever heard of great success from Joey Bosa in the NFL.
Well, he's dead to me. He's dead to me. So the fact that he was ever the highest paid player in defensive history is just Tom Telesco. What the fuck are we doing? But yeah. Okay, let's talk about the flips now. Ohio State had 3 players flip within the last 3 weeks. So we'll start off with a couple weeks ago, the big one. 5-star defensive lineman Justin Scott.
Breaking news from 50 minutes ago. I don't know if you got to see this. ESPN. Michigan football program receives notice of allegations from NCAA for recruiting violations.
Yeah, I saw this. So I don't know if this is exactly related to Hamburger Gate. Another 5-star defensive lineman Armando Blunt has flipped from Florida State to Miami. Miami has now flipped.
They're cooking.
4 dudes. Oh my fucking God, Everett. Okay. All right. Okay.
Hold on.
So 4-star wide receiver Jeremiah McClellan, he flipped from Ohio State to Oregon, which I'm not that mad about because like he would have never played at Ohio State if he showed up anyway. We already have 2 5-star receivers in the class and 2 5-stars like the year ahead of him. But 4-star running back Jordan Lyle from South Florida, he flipped from Ohio State to Miami, and that doesn't exactly hurt as much because we have a 4-star running back also in this class already, but you don't want to lose dudes in Miami.
Hey, what's going on with the 2 5-star running backs at Alabama?
They're both still there. They haven't hit the portal. They're posted up, Everett. They're having a good time.
We've seen before you can get 2 5-star running backs. They both can go to the NFL, Sony Michel and Nick Chubb, except one of them is going to suck and be horrendous his entire career, and the other one's going to be a generational prospect. So
it's disgusting. It's absolutely
pick and choose.
It is gross. But yeah, 5-star defense lineman Justin Scott. He flipped from Ohio State to Miami. I'm pretty sure the three guys I just missed or listed, we all miss on them because of NIL deals. But it's for the Edric Houston NIL. We actually offered more NIL to him than Bama did, and he was still about to pick Bama. That's what concerns me.
Yeah, this violation for Michigan is from the COVID-19 dead period, recruiting dead period.
So I think this is like Hamburger Gate Part 2.
It says Jim Harbaugh faces a level 1 violation for allegedly not cooperating with or misleading NCAA investigators about
violation, he's fine.
And also faces a level 2 violation.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking business. But yeah, another flip. The last 2 flips I got to point out. AJ Bolden, 5-star safety at Buford, teammate of Dylan Raiola, teammate of Edric Houston. Now, we brought this up last episode, but it is just a thing that kids from Buford do not go to Georgia. They're one of the top high schools from the state of Georgia, but those kids do not go to Georgia. Georgia fans, you can't be that mad about Dylan Raiola decommitting because KJ Bolden has officially flipped from Florida State to Georgia. Don't say Dylan Raiola never did anything for the Georgia Bulldogs. He flipped KJ Bolden from Florida State to Georgia. He essentially did his job that Kirby Smart asked of Dylan, going to Buford and transferring out of Arizona. So, hey, he did his job. Dylan Raiola did his job. He flipped KJ Bolden to Georgia. So you guys can't be that upset. But the more exciting news, Everett, 5-star offensive tackle Jordan Seaton has flipped from Colorado to Maryland. Now, this thing, I'm not too exactly sold on. I don't think he's signed with Maryland yet. I think he's just trying to get more NIL right now. But that guy, Jordan Seaton, he's a paper chaser. He's a paper chaser. That is what is his recruitment is coming down to.
Now the biggest news of the week that we have not addressed yet is Tulane's in on a former 5-star quarterback that's currently in the portal in Malachi Nelson. One of, I believe, 4 teams that he's talked to is Tulane, Houston, TCU, Cal, and there was one other team. But just, I mean, if Tulane were to land him, an incredible, like program altering pickup would be
magical.
Would be the highest rated player to ever put on a Tulane helmet.
Really?
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure how much you like this, but his NFL player comp is Jordan Love.
That's okay.
Let's just pretend that didn't happen.
Jordan Love was pretty nasty in college. I'm going to give it to him there. He made Utah State actually competitive for 1 year.
But yeah, that was kind of the updates. I want to get Malachi. That's a name where, I'll be honest, I was shocked to see him hit the portal from USC.
Well, I think it was right. It was right after Max Johnson or Max, whatever his name, Howard from K-State.
Will Howard
and committed to USC. It was right after that he put his name in the portal.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, we can make some.
But USC has been bleeding the past week for players hitting the portal.
They've had so many heads hit the portal and starters hit the portal.
Yeah, no, multiple.
Also, I think Georgia has 7 starters in the portal right now.
But like that's different for Georgia where they have the talent. True. But USC cannot replace those players. Yeah,
well, and also the players leaving weren't even good to begin with, so it's like they need to be replaced. Also, so yeah, there's a lot of problems there. Last thing I just want to shout out, it's looking like Walter Nolan will be going to Ole Miss. If I were to put my money on it, I would put Ole Miss over Oregon for Nolan. So Ole Miss going at it hard. I'd say right now the big name I am keeping my eye on is Evan Stewart. He is a wide receiver who has hit the portal from Texas A&M. He is jumping up.
I mean,
NFL draft board, big boards. He's not eligible this year, but year after.
You know who I'm keeping my eyes on?
Oh, Raheem Rocket Sanders?
No, Chad Bailey.
Oh, Chadwick. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna keep our eye on him. 3-star recruit, by the way. So yeah, we're going to keep our eye on him. we'll be breaking that one down. Hopefully we can get official announcement on the pod from him. If he doesn't, he'll be dead to me forever. But yeah, you have anything else on college football?
Not on college football. I've got some stuff for the NFL to talk about if we want to go that way. If we have some surprise MLB stuff. I know you're a water polo enthusiast, so that way too.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried getting us into WAPO, but one of us is not quite interested as the other in Croatian WAPO, so I won't dive into that.
Yeah, I'm more of an American WAPO fan myself.
Oh, I thought you were into Swedish WAPO. Fuck.
Used to be, and that was as a kid and prior. Yeah, no, it was like it was bad. It was bad. I could it was like I could name every player on the starting day. It was bad. Okay. All right. So
that was when I knew you had a problem.
Yeah. So I have one thing on the Chargers before we get into this past week's game slate and then this upcoming game slate. Obviously, this comes from no surprise. What I'm about to say does not comes from as a surprise, but the Chargers are reportedly interested in hiring Jim Harbaugh as their next head coach.
And I am also interested in taking a $15 million contract. I mean, that's one of the most obvious reports of all time. Of course.
No, but it is just interesting to me that for the Chargers specifically, it's kind of been known they don't do this kind of move before. So anything publicized is kind of all new because they don't fire people in the middle of the season.
I believe this is the third time it's ever happened.
And the other thing is there are other head coach we've heard that are possible, but for the very first one, right after everything coming out, that the Chargers specifically are interested in being Jim Harbaugh is interesting to me. We had heard, okay, maybe Bill Belichick wants to go to the Chargers if it's open after the season.
I also think there was some post about Bill being,
but that was before Brandon Staley got fired. That was Bill Belichick's preference, not the Chargers' preference.
I would say one thing that is quite funny though.
This is saying that the Chargers' preference is Harbaugh, and if there's interest, then
should be Harbaugh. But I do think it's quite funny that I mean, obviously Staley didn't get fired until last week, but we all knew he was going to get, everyone around the NFL, including potential vacant coaches.
Here's the other thing. That's what we thought. But there was also a report that came out from the Spanos family, and they were like, yeah, we weren't planning on firing Brandon Staley until after. Well, we weren't planning on firing him at all. And then that 70-point game happened, and we were like, all right, we got to move on. But they were not planning on firing him before that game happened.
Heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
It could have been real bad
for them to act. It genuinely needs to be okay.
The fact that it was still that bad, and it literally had to take a team smacking the shit out of them 70 to 21 for them to actually do something.
Yeah, fucking Aiden O'Connell smacking the living shit out of us.
They could have lost 3-30, and they'd be like, all right, we're gonna still roll with him. Fuck.
That's terrifying.
This had to be 70 points.
This is the quote the Spanos family made after the announcement. Our fans have stood strong through so many ups and downs and close games. I'm not really sure what the ups are, but quote, they deserve more. Frankly, they've earned more. Now, I don't know exactly as a faux Chargers fan myself.
The first half of the Jaguars game? It's a pretty high up, right?
Oh,
followed by the entirety of hell in the abyss below the next half.
Now, you can believe me or not, I don't really care. But the worst part about the game is that when the Jags kicked that field goal right before the half, I knew we were going to lose. That's what was so fucked up about that game is that the second they just got a little momentum.
Ever since you guys went to the Chargers game where those old Chargers fans were like, hey, ever since that game, your entire mindset with how the end of the Chargers games go has completely been altered.
Because it's Dicker the kicker hit a field goal to win as time expired in that game, and fucking Jeff and I were freaking out, and the two older guys are like, kids, take it in while you can. You won't get many more of these. As a Chargers fan, I was like, damn, man, fuck. Why do you just be brutally honest with me right now? Because I know you're right. I just didn't need that shit in my life. But we could quickly talk about coaches. Harbaugh would be my number one. I don't know if Bill would even be.
I would not want Bill. I would not want Bill.
I wouldn't want Bill. My question is though, I think there are many worse alternatives.
There are. You could hire Cliff Kingsbury back, or
Who do you think now? Obviously, I want Harbaugh. That'd be like amazing, but I'm not gonna act like that's. I'm not expecting that to really be an option. So help me out here. I have not quite dove into this. Who do you think, like, an actual realistic shot at being Chargers head coach?
I think Harbaugh is a realistic shot. If they somehow win the Natty this year,
I honestly
maybe
don't even know if that improves or worsens.
it either makes it way better because like I've accomplished everything now, or it's way be like, all right, we just won a Natty. I can't leave.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I have no idea. Like,
but I'd say, I mean, Harbaugh is tangible. I'd probably put him at number one. Outside of that, I don't know what the Lions OC name is, but he's up there. Bobby Slowick, I'd say, is in there. Brian Flores, depending if the NFL wants to like unban him, but Brian Flores is there. I would put, I mean, Eric Bieniemy might be in there.
Bieniemy, he'd be up there. I mean, we really let Sean Payton get away.
Anthony, what's the one that got away? The old
Anthony Lynn?
No, the old Falcons head coach that's on Dan
Quinn?
Dan Quinn.
I don't think we could do that as the Chargers. I mean, that'd be the most Chargers shit of all time.
But he's been really good as the Cowboys DC.
True.
Though.
It's just, could we do that? We just hire another choker? We can't. We can't do that. We can't.
I mean, he's gone through the rehabilitation lab, though. That's the other thing. Now, you could go wild card and hire some random coach from college, though. That's also possible.
I just hope we don't do that. Like, let's take an NFL guy. Let's take an NFL guy. And Harbaugh qualifies as NFL guy, so yeah. But I think we should go after an NFL guy. I think we should. I think that is the move there, but we'll see. We'll see entirely.
We'll see.
I just don't think Kellen Moore would even.
No.
I don't even really.
Anybody on staff right now will not be interviewed for that position.
Straight up, let's give an interview to Bisaccia. You remember?
Rick Bisaccia, though, deserved to get an interview.
Yeah. He beat the Chargers in that last game.
He arguably should have been their head coach. Would have been better than Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my, could you imagine if we hired him? Just disband the franchise. If we hired Josh McDaniels or Matt Patricia, just disband the franchise. We're done here. I'm out. But okay, time to go over these picks. Time to go over these games, Everett.
All right. Okay. Grant beat me this past week. I had.
By how many?
We'll say we'll count the Texans game. We'll count
2
the
picks.
Texans game. So
am I now behind
2.
you by 1? Overall.
I'm at 136 overall wins.
I'm at 135.
Okay, we're coming down to the wire here. I had a insurmountable lead at one point. Have kind of gone downhill lately, but all right. Interesting thing that I'm gonna have to deal with today, where we know I'm not great at relying on what the schedule actually is. I haven't done well on that, but here are the game slates. So it's going to be interesting with 3 Monday night games. Thursday, Saints at Rams.
Not 3 Monday night games.
3 Monday games. 3 Monday games.
Thank you. Oh shit.
Saints at Rams. Saturday afternoon slate. Bengals at Steelers, and night game is Bills at Chargers. Your favorite on Peacock. Sunday game slate, Christmas Eve day.
That's right, folks. The NFL owns Christmas.
Noon slate, Colts at Falcons, Seahawks at Titans, Lions at Vikings, Commanders at Jets, Packers at Panthers, and Browns at Texans. 3 o'clock slate, we have Jacksonville at the Bucks, and we have Cardinals at Bears, and Cowboys at the Dolphins. And to wrap up,
which is game of the week, right? Cowboys Dolphins game of the week. Yeah.
San Francisco,
Or
Baltimore, San Francisco,
okay.
Baltimore,
Okay.
which could be a Super Bowl matchup. So, and then to wrap up Sunday night, we have Patriots at Broncos, and then Monday, Christmas Day,
Which
we
should have been
have
flexed, but whatever.
we have Raiders at Chiefs, Giants at Eagles, and Ravens at 49ers.
Yep. So
So
we get a Harbaugh Bowl rematch for
we
Monday
do,
Night
just
Football.
with one less Harbaugh involved.
True.
Yeah. So this is my pick. These are my picks. Rams, Bengals, Bills, Colts, Seahawks, Vikings, Commanders, Packers. We don't know if CJ Stroud's playing yet. Asterisk game there. Right now, I have the Texans, assuming CJ Stroud plays. If not, I'm taking Joe Flacco in the Browns. Sorry, Case. That's a hard one for me. Jaguars, Bears, Dolphins. I haven't. You can tell me what you think of this. I have an asterisk on this, whether or not Tyreek plays.
I'll be honest. I'm picking one team no matter what. So
right now I got the Dolphins, Broncos, Chiefs, Eagles, and 49ers.
Now
we already asterisked the Texans game. I can't asterisk
too. Okay.
So
that's what I wanted to say.
Can't do that.
Thank you for saying it. So I didn't have to say
Can't do that.
So you're on Dolphins.
I'm on Dolphins.
Okay. I will also be on the Dolphins this week. Tyreek or not, I'm on the Dolphins. Cowboys are frauds. But okay. If I just did my math correctly, we have 5 separate picks. So it should be a fun week. Rams, Steelers, Chargers. Damn it. Falcons, Seahawks, Vikings, Jets, Packers, Texans, Bucks, Cardinals, Dolphins, Broncos, Chiefs, Eagles, Niners. So our difference is I got Steelers, you got Bengals. I had to pick the Chargers, but I agree with you. I'm on Falcons, you're on Colts. I'm on Jets, you're on Commies. I'm on Bucks, you're on Jags. I'm on Cardinals.
So we have the ability this week for somebody to take a large lead going into the final 2 weeks of the season. This year, last year was kind of like at the end of the season, it was kind of like Grant had it hands down. I think you had like a 6-game lead. I mean, this is going to be we could be going down to the wire.
You only have a 1-game lead on me, and we got 5 differentials this week. So
it's gonna be interesting. Also, the secondary race here is for who can be for both of us being over 600. So
yeah, 60%. That's just like the benchmark. Which, if we're picking money lines, like if we're 51%, I'm not taking any fucking praise for that. You should be going at least 50% every week if you just pick favorites. So 60%, that's the benchmark. That's the benchmark of a successful season, in my opinion.
I agree with that. Okay, so first thing, why don't we just address the games that we have different teams
I have them listed
here.
We could we're not gonna talk about Bills Chargers.
No, that's fine.
But Bengals Steelers.
So the only reason I have the Bengals here
I have one reason why I did this, but yeah.
One, I'm pretty sure Mitch Trubisky's still playing. 2, Jake Browning's looked pretty good throughout the entire time that he's been playing for them. He's looked pretty good, and they're on a little hot streak right now. Plus, I mean, interdivision game, and on top of that, like the Steelers' like entire wide receiver room just looks like they don't care, and they've been pouting and bitching, and it's just like having that kind of feeling going around the locker room is just not good for team morale.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find out the exact number. Yeah, actually, we could just do this. Over the past 20 years, Mike Tomlin is the number 1 coach. The Steelers are, I can't break it down by coach. Steelers are the number 1 team in the NFL over the past 20 seasons to cover the spread at home as home underdogs. This is just a theory I have. When Mike Tomlin's a favorite, he'll let you down. When the Seahawks are a favorite, they'll let you down. When they're home dogs, oh yeah. Oh yeah, give me them when they're home dogs. So that's why I'm on Steelers. Seahawks this week, like I was afraid of picking them because they're favorited. Like I swear, when the Seahawks are underdogs, they win. But when they're favorited, they don't. And I think the same thing applies to the Steelers.
Okay. I mean, I think it still comes down to who the quarterback is and whether or not you've got bitchy fucking wide receivers. But like, I mean,
I've just been screwed so many times in the past, basing my picks off injuries that
I'm not basing it's not
players.
injuries here. If I was basing it off injuries, then the Steelers would be winning this game because the Bengals are starting Jake Browning over Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase has been hurt. Jamar Chase dislocated his shoulder last week.
I'll take Jake Browning and that offense with like T. Higgins over Mitch and Pickens.
So your pick here is solely not because you think that the Steelers are better. It's because you think that they're going to cover.
I'm not analyzing this game at all. No. I'm looking them as franchises. Pittsburgh Steelers, home underdogs. Give me that. That's how I'm looking at it.
It's always been a brutal bloodbath of a game between the Bengals and the Steelers.
Oh, I know. Throw everything out the window.
Okay. What's the next game? We had Colts and Falcons.
Yeah, this was just something
you're putting your faith in Arthur Smith.
Well, this is just how I thought about this. Like, can I actually sit there and tell myself the Colts are going to be 9-6? No, I can't. Yeah, that was why I can't.
So you're telling me
if AR-15 was quarterback, I would have said they'd be 10-4 right now.
So hold on. You're telling me that
I just refuse to believe that
the Falcons
9-6. I don't think there's that much separation between Colts and the Falcons.
The Falcons are 6. The Falcons are 6-8, and the Colts are 7-7.
Colts are 8-6.
Although I should have stipulated Taylor Heineke might be the starting quarterback for the Falcons this game, and if that's the case, it's a much closer
aren't the
game.
Colts 8-6?
Yes, they're 8-6.
Yeah. Well, this is also this should have nothing to do with it at all. But like, I'm still gonna expect the Jaguars to win that division, and this should literally have nothing to do with it. But like, I just don't see a scenario where the Colts are just in first place. That should have fucking absolutely.
Well, I don't think that there will be a scenario where they are in first place because I think the Texans will still jump them. But I just I think to not give the to be Colts honest, their flowers is a little unfair.
I think all of these AFC South teams are in a battle this week. Okay, Colts on the road in Atlanta. Texans, they have the Browns with Case Keenum most likely, and then Jaguars got to go to Tampa. Tampa's a pretty tough place to play. So like, those are not easy games for those three teams.
Yeah, I mean.
And in theory, I'm actually fading all of them if that Colts pick goes to Browns.
The Colts lost to the Bengals in Cincinnati the other week, but outside of that, like they were on a 4-game win streak and then just beat the Steelers last week. They lost both their games to the Jaguars. Good to note. And they have one more matchup the final week of the season.
And tiebreakers head-to-head, or is it like points scored, like point difference?
I believe it's head-to-head, then it's versus interdivision opponents.
Yeah,
what your division record is.
That's it.
But they beat the Texans week 2, and they finish up the season last week of the season versus the Texans as well. So that could be a tiebreaker game. But
okay, move it. Like now for this Commanders Jets game, we went different here. Both teams have been eliminated from the playoffs, which kind of makes me want to go Commanders. But I mean, it's too late. I can't switch. But I kind of like your Commanders pick a lot here.
I think Zach Wilson is so bad. And that offensive line is even worse. I've also heard
rumors. I mean, I don't know anything. But like I saw something that like Zach Wilson's mom was like concerned that like Zach Wilson's not like responding to her text or something.
She was concerned that he got concussed, didn't say anything, then got a second concussion, and then was like, I'm concussed.
And I'll be honest, if I was Zach Wilson in his position right now where like his teammates hate him, like I would probably cover up a concussion and say I'm fine and play through it. Just like and
then play worse, and then your teammates hate you even more.
Well, some of them, yes, but just in my opinion, like I will respect a man who like even though this probably shouldn't be, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but like
Don't say
back
it.
in my day, I always respected my teammates who covered up their injuries and just played through it.
Well, there's a difference between a concussion and like something that you could actually play through that just hurts.
Well, I would also say when I was playing football, we didn't really do concussion tests. So
we do know somebody who's failed a concussion test when they were taking a baseline, though.
Yeah, still to this day, I will never understand.
Don't know how that one happened.
We have a lot of questions and we don't have enough answers. But okay, actually, let's just end off on this one. Okay. I know we have differentials, but let's just talk Cowboys, Dolphins, and Ravens, Niners. Now we're both on Dolphins. We're both on Niners.
Yeah, I mean,
let's start Cowboys, Dolphins. Even if Tyreek isn't playing, I still think I'm going to go with the Fins here.
I mean, look, the Cowboys did just lose pretty bad fashion to the Bills. But at the same time, like, I'm not expecting every performance to be like that. And this is, to me, the reason why I chose the Dolphins is I think that they're going to pick up one of these games late in the season versus a good team where they're going to prove to everybody that they actually can win these games versus better opponents. And they did very well last week. I don't know.
I also think like getting some playing time without Tyreek. Waddle went out for a little bit, even though he had his best performance of the season on Sunday. But like, I actually think giving Mostert and a chain like a lot of looks at running back, kind of relying on them to either just run the offense, just talking on first through third downs, just normal drives, but also in the red zone. Like Mostert just set the Miami Dolphins franchise single season record for touchdowns in a season. He has 18 touchdowns this year.
He has 20.
So, oh yeah, I didn't even count the fucking receiving. He has 20 touchdowns this year. Like unreal shit. Like Mostert has been so key for the Dolphins this year. And I'm also pretty sure he still never had over 20 touches in a football game in his NFL career. I'm pretty sure that fact still stands. So, I mean, they're doing it efficiently and with a chain, which they're kind of similar runners. So it's not really much a change of pace. It's more so like, fuck, now the other guy who's faster than Mostert's just healthy. So good luck defending that fucking stretch. You know that very well. And so, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot to break. Okay. 2 games this season that Mostert had over 20 touches.
Still, I mean, that's pretty impressive given the stats he's put up this year. And the other thing,
oh my God, 7 touchdowns last 4 weeks.
The other thing too, just to note, like the defense for the Dolphins has been playing really well.
With Ramsey getting back, they've actually looked a lot better. I want to shout out one of my guys real quick, Jerome Baker, linebacker out of Ohio State. Now I know he's a little banged up. I think he's back now. Damn it, he's still in IR. Never mind. Okay, that is
still give him a shout out. He's doing well in the rehab facility.
He was playing real fucking well start of the year. That's one of my favorite Buckeyes ever, Jerome Baker. But yeah.
Now I can't say I know who the wide receiver room is for the Dolphins outside of Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, but I think Braxton Berrios is there.
Seti Wilson. I think Chosen got cut.
He got cut.
River Craycraft. Legend.
One of the best receivers. We know a bit about River Craycraft. Yeah, we know a little bit about River Craycraft.
Pretty sure he still has not gotten in a game since the 70-point blowout that happened in week 3. Let me check. Let me just double check to make sure. River played 2 weeks ago. Two targets, 2 catches, 16 yards. Fucking ball player. He's a contributor.
Baller. And then Ravens 49ers. Let's just look at this real quick. Both great teams, but the 49ers defense, the 49ers, like all around.
They look phenomenal against Arizona.
No, but all around, like that's in division. Like, you give it a little.
No, honestly.
But also, that's a tune-up game. Playing against Kyler Murray is a little bit of a tune-up game for what Lamar Jackson's about to do with you. So that's arguably perfect timing for them. And on top of that, overall, the 49ers are like the most complete team in the NFL this year.
Oh, yeah.
In total. So,
yeah.
I also would it would have to be, if Brock Purdy wins MVP, he would be the latest draft pick to ever win the MVP, right? because he's literally the last draft pick in the draft. He'd have to be the
latest draft pick. Yes, Kurt Warner, he won it, correct? Now I know he didn't,
but
get
he was
drafted,
a UDFA.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess if we're just talking Mr. Irrelevant, then yeah, I believe he'd be the only Mr. He might be the only Mr. Irrelevant to like be
actually do anything. Trey Quinn was playing a little bit for Washington a couple of years ago.
Let me look up Mr. Irrelevant NFL.
I think Trey Quinn got some reps for the Commanders a couple seasons ago.
Oh, Swag Kelly doesn't count. Damn it. No, yeah, it's Brock. It's just Brock. Like he's like the only guy who's like actually like the other one's a kicker, so we're not gonna count that. But Ryan Suckup.
Okay. I mean Ryan Suckup
kinda.
It's kind of good.
But you know, I feel like most kickers are undrafted.
Most or seventh rounders.
Yeah. So
unless you're the Bucks, in which case you take them in the second round and
second round
them 2 years
Aguayo.
later. Okay.
God damn.
All right, we're gonna wrap up here with 2 lists that I have. Grant has not heard either of these lists, so he's gonna be interested or just not care at all in between. We're gonna start with the best first round picks from this year's draft through this week 17, 16.
Are we doing that in offense, defense breakup? Or are we combining
both
all the
combined through week 16? We're going to do 10-1. I'm including injured players in this list to clarify, because we're taking into account where they were drafted, what their performance was before they got hurt, and then obviously I'm dropping them spots for if they were hurt. Here we go. Anthony Richardson, Zay Flowers, Christian Gonzalez, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jordan Addison, Will Anderson, Devon Witherspoon, Jalen Carter, and CJ Stroud.
No Puka Nacua?
First round picks.
My bad.
I was going to originally do worst first round picks through this week, and Quentin Johnson was going to be number 1.
That's mean.
But I couldn't wrap up the rest of the list because I hadn't looked at O-line and stuff like that.
That one's mean.
But speaking of mean, worst NFL coaches this season, including coaches that have already been fired.
I'm proud of this list. I'm happy that
I think this is better. This is better. This is better 1 to 10, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I know you're excited.
Head coaches only.
Head coaches only, and they can already have been fired. Literally, just had to have coached like
a game this season.
Interim coaches are not being counted here. So no, okay. Whatever. I don't know what his name is on the Panthers or the Raiders, whatever. All right, Frank Reich, Brandon Staley, Josh McDaniels, Arthur Smith, Ron Rivera, Bill Belichick, Dennis Allen, Matt Eberflus, Jonathan Gannon, and Robert Saleh. I think it's Matt. Is it Matt Eberflus or Matt? I think it's Matt Eberflus.
I think it's Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus. There we go.
The one thing, now I'm obviously very biased. I'm a top 5 Brandon Staley hater on the planet. I would put him number 1 over Frank Reich, just because Frank Reich literally wanted Stroud. And he got fired for the owner taking the quarterback that he didn't want.
I can agree. I can agree with that. But the only thing is Frank Reich getting fired half a season into a 6-year contract, whatever. And even with Bryce Young, like, I get it that he's not the quarterback you want, but if you throw CJ Stroud in that offense, he's probably not doing a whole lot better. It's a fucking horrible team. I would guess so too. But hey, we'll never know. Frank was also fired much earlier into his season than.
I just feel like, though, we can't exactly use that because Staley should have been fired even going into the year. You know what I'm saying?
Staley should have been fired 2 seasons ago.
Incompetence is the reason that he stayed. It had nothing to do with him earning his role. It was just the owners are so dumb. So, but hey, we can have this debate. Tepper, is he worse than the Spanoses? Right? Only owner that we can confidently say 100% sure is worse than
it is complete opposite sides of the spectrum. One is way too involved with the team, and the other ones are not involved at all.
Yeah.
Like, there's like
two
fucking deal with
complete
it.
polar opposite approaches to the
So the
whole
question is,
fucking
would you rather
ownership
have
thing.
somebody not care or somebody try and care way too much but is really bad at it?
and is a little too hands-on? So, like,
If you
I would
hire
actually
somebody
prefer
who's
what I have now.
if you hire somebody who's good,
Yeah,
fuck it. Let
could
the
fix
team
it.
deal with it.
Yeah.
Let the team
you
deal
know,
with it. But if
we
you
just have never hired that
if
person.
you hire Brandon Staley, then yeah, you want fucking Tepper in there.
Yeah.
Then you want Tepper.
So
If you hire Jim Harbaugh, give me the fucking Spanos family.
give me the Spanos family.
Give me the
because
Spanos
they'll
family.
never buy him out. He'll be there forever unless he wants to leave. In that case, we don't need to buy him out. He just doesn't get his contract. So yeah.
But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Everett Stakes and at WaterboyGrant. We post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe, turn the notifications on so you don't miss any of those. We also upload shorts on YouTube, so you don't want to miss any of those either. New TikToks every Tuesday to Sunday. So make sure you follow us there for great content. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.